Hello, hello, hello.
What up, what up, what up? How's it going, everybody?
Games. Like, I understand what I'm saying.
Shush. Wow. I don't know why it still says this. Oh, it's because I'm not. I see. I have to do this. How annoying. My YouTube video isn't correct. Hello, everybody. What's up? How are you all? Hello, hello, hello. Did you guys see the regional updates? No more 1K? Followed by, is this live? No more 1K plus a bunch of extra stuff, change in pricing and on like side events and whatnot. Kind of crazy. Round 3. Whoa. They changed their website? Learn to play. Their fonts are all over the place with this. Huh. I guess I like haven't looked at this at all. Explore community decks. Oh, you know what? I realize I haven't been on the new UGN at all. Do I have to do something separate, or did it automatically move me over? It moved you, maybe with glitches. Okay. Oh, it looks like my name is the Trading Post, which is pretty cool. Player profile. Display name. I'm the Trading Post. What? Wait. Lifetime status? Wait. Lifetime Wait. I'm rank 50? What is going on here? Oh, I played in the main 2 round of... Huh. I think... I have so many judge coins. This is so interesting. 71 champion points from 2024. Stats don't work right now or are wrong. I mean, that makes sense. I'm shocked. Truly, I'm shocked. It says that I'm number 50 in the world, though. With 2024 champion points. Also, all the decks you had there are gone. I mean, that makes sense. Brand new version. Does the card gallery work? Oh, it's omega ugly. It's the ugliest thing of all time. Convention promos. There are 2 of them. This is the ugliest of all time. Oh, it just downloads straight away. I didn't want to download it. At least it's more responsive. I mean, I guess. Open image in another tab. Dude, I don't want to download these bleak commentary pictures. I just no interest. I've got no interest in it, actually. Huh, I wonder what this is going to look like for casting, because we need to be able to, like, right-click. I guess it's right-click, copy image address. Huh, I wonder. Yeah, this is, like, the worst way to do this. I love it. I love it. Daniel, hello. What up, man? How are you? What's up? How's life? Are you hitting any LCs this weekend? No reward story yet either. A really successful rollout launch, I feel. Like ultra successful, you would say. No LC's going to final round next weekend, dude. I would love to go to final round. I would love to go to final round. It's just not in the cards. Put the poll here. Tekken Lore today. Yeah! I found a YouTube video that's like an hour and a half long that just goes over all of the it's called, quote, The Insane Lore of Tekken 2022. And it goes from Tekken 1 to Tekken 7. And then I'm going to play through Tekken 8, which I have a sub goal right here that I will download. I will buy, download, and start that tonight if we hit the goal. But if not, we'll save it for another day. Because my preview starts on Monday. I don't know if I'm allowed to leak that my preview starts on Monday or not. But my preview is on Monday. I got some fun shit planned for it. The character that I got, kind of cool. Gonna be honest. Tekken Lore is nuts. I think I watched that video. It was announced today. Whew. If not, fuck it. I leaked it. Who cares? Fuck it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Guys, I played Riftbound last night. God damn, that game's good. God damn, that game's fun. Holy. What a fun one. What an unbelievably fun game to play. I'm gonna go tag in all the Discord, see if I can get some dorks in. I'm told Arcane is good. I really liked Arcane. Arcane is like good media, and it will certainly make your opinion of Riftbound better. The worst thing that it will do is excuse me. The worst thing that it will do is make you like be sad that some of the Riftbound characters aren't as good. Yo, you guys got a little. You guys know quite a bit about Tekken. That's dope. I'm certainly in a 3 category. I know jack shit. I know nothing. I know nothing. So we're gonna really enjoy this one. Are you gonna do this sober? Hell yeah! I'm trying to learn about Riftbound. I'm trying to learn about Riftbound now to learn about Tekken. Blamed, if you ever want to play games of Riftbound, I'm Omega in. All I want to do is play that game right now. That game's got its hooks in me, and I can't tell if it's because like I can't play Universes competitively or not. But man, just like everything that I want to do in a the Victor deck in Vegas got me interested. It's a good deck. Victor's a cool guy. Victor is sitting in my box. Hold on, is it? Nope, it's sitting on my desk. I got the man's right here. Hey. I want to do oops all spells. I'm a big hybrid spells guy. Hihachi is the most stupid existence in Tekken. Okay. I felt like you have a decent amount of what the fuck is going on here. I'm excited. I'm excited. Yeah, but we're about 15 minutes in, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just get us rocking. I mean, why not? Why not? Looks like you guys know way more about this than I do as we go in. Let's do middle screen top right. We'll pause this and click play.
Growing up as a kid, I played a wide variety.
You guys tell
of
me
video
how
games,
the
platformers, RPGs, whatever the hell
sound is.
Seaman's supposed to be. But the type of game I played the most with my friends would have to be the fighting variety. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Dead or Alive, Soul Calibur. Just me and my buddies.
Dude, I remember playing Soul Calibur on the GameCube with a friend named Jesse R. I'll leave it there so I don't dox this person. Their name is Jesse R, and I remember it so vividly. So, oh no, sorry, it wasn't the GameCube, it was a PlayStation. Because if it was the GameCube, it had Link, but they didn't. They had Spawn, question mark? They had Spawn, and that's a Keelik main.
Going one-on-one to beat the living piss out of each other. And as much as I'd love to say that I'm a fighting game god, that couldn't be further from the truth. I am terrible at these games. Like, I understand what I'm supposed to do. Blocking, zoning, super meters, write down rights for your shoryukens, you know. But I just can't react to any of it fast enough. I never use my assists effectively. I can't counter anything in...
I'm sitting here watching Marvel vs. Capcom, and it makes me want to play Token Fighters so bad. I've been picking up playing Marvel Rivals again. Man, what a fun game.
BOA, I couldn't pull off a 10-string to save my life. You'd more than likely kick my ass, but I'm still gonna have fun regardless. Whether I'm button mashing or using muscle memory that I can't possibly articulate, it's still satisfying to knock some virtual heads. There is an energy with this genre that is rarely matched. The speed, the music, the animations in VO.
Heaven or hell, you won. Let's rock.
Character
rock.
goes a long way. If your game has lots of personality and feels satisfying to play, then you're gonna win me over. I mean, who didn't want to be Ryu or Chun-Li when they first played Street Fighter?
Spinning back kick.
Who didn't love the ninjas of Mortal Kombat?
Get over
I remember booting up Soul Calibur 2 and being instantly drawn to Nightmare, the Azure demon who wields the demonic blade Soul Edge.
He's cool.
darkness. Come unto me.
On a surface level, Nightmare is just an edgy Dark Knight, but these characters have lore behind them, and digging deeper helps you discover that this scary-looking fighter is actually a tragic figure. A man named Siegfried, one who sought the evil blade to gain
That's the guy who's
power
your nightmare?
that could
Yeah,
avenge
that
his
one, and that one's
father,
really good.
when in reality, he was running away from the truth, that he himself was the murderer. And this delusion only fuels his descent to the dark side as he falls deeper and deeper into insanity.
Spoilers for Soul Calibur, I guess. I guess we're doing Soul Calibur lore as well.
Ultimately becoming a shallow
This
husk.
guy's described
of the
my skill
person
and
he used to
enjoyment
be.
at fighting games.
No turning back.
Except there is, because when we get to Soul Calibur 3, Siegfried rejects the darkness inside him and regains his humanity. His story continuing on redemption. It's a fantastic soap opera that just expands with each new entry. But you had to find out this information yourself. See, nowadays every fighting game has a story mode of some sort, but back in the 90s and early 2000s, that wasn't the case. You picked your fighter, you took on a list of opponents, and if you were lucky, you got an ending with still images and text. Hell, Mortal Kombat is the only game I remember that had biographies in the attract mode. Every other time, you had to consult the instruction booklet. And Virtua Fighter never had endings to their games, so those manuals are essential to know anything about the lore. Did you know that Pi is a Hollywood actress? Neither did I! Figuring out fighting game lore
Fucking Street Fighter 3? Perfect.
is like going to IKEA. They give you the pieces, but you have to assemble it
We got a
yourself.
shore hop with that.
And that
Oh my
takes us to the
goodness. Dudley's
topic
so cool.
of today's video.
Bah, 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 bah.
I'd like to talk about Tekken.
Let's do it. All right, let's talk about my Tekken experience before we jump into this. So Tekken is exclusively a beercade game for me. I have a buddy whose name is Mitch. We'll call him Mitch Z to protect his, so I don't dox him as well. I would watch him play Tekken at a very high level and enjoy it, and then play against the computer because we weren't even in the same stratosphere when it came to Tekken skill. The idea of like a 3D fighter just like completely spins me on my head. And I've played this much of Tekken versus Street Fighter, and I only ever use Street Fighter controls because I'm a Street Fighter guy. So I genuinely, I know nothing about this entire franchise.
Tekken is one of Bandai Namco's best-selling franchises, each game always ending up with a greatest hits re-release.
Mitchell Zamino?
Everyone's
Yeah, it's
heard
Mitchell
of it, it's
Zamino.
incredibly popular, but being a fighting game, its lore is still very hidden, very obscure. When Nintendo's Smash Bros. Ultimate was rolling out DLC, the second last fighter revealed was Kazuya Mishima, one of the major characters of Tekken. And it was interesting seeing all of this obliviousness from friends.
I've played this guy a little bit in Smash, and he looks cool. He looks cool. I hope that he's in the game. I hope that he's in UVS, and I hope he does cool
And
things.
strangers alike. They knew where he was from, but why
He also
did
turns into like a big
purple
devil
demon?
guy.
I mean, you'll watch all the big
that.
fighting game tournaments, Combo Breaker, Evo, and Tekken seems relatively normal at first. Just a bunch of martial artists fighting each other, right? And then in one match, someone will pick Jack, the gigantic metal robot with the pink mohawk. And then in another, someone will pick Panda, a panda bear that knows Mishima-style karate. And
I thought all pandas knew Mishima style karate.
while they
that was
fight,
obvious.
the music that plays in the background might be a little strange.
Look at the sheep. The sheep are going crazy.
It's a franchise that looks really intense on the outside, but behind the curtain is some really goofy shit.
He was on the artwork for Devastate.
Lots of fighting games are silly and weird, but none of them compare to Tekken. From the very first console release, they actually made special FMV endings for every character. Some were badass, some were wholesome, but a lot of them were just crazy. And it made you want to beat the game with every fighter just to see what would happen next.
Do I even gotta say it?
That's what got me hooked onto the
Totally.
lore and why it's been living in my head all these years. And it always led to amusing conversations because people couldn't believe that Tekken was so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. If you're
What am I
trying to get into
doing
the
here?
series today, you'll start with Tekken 7. And while all of the past endings are unlockable, you still won't get any of the character backstories. Jumping in late means you'll have to do research if you want to learn about Elisa Boskanovich, or why there's a boxing kangaroo. Without access to the rest of the series, you don't have the
found
full
my main.
scope
All right, thoughts on the boxing kangaroo going in universes? Thoughts? I mean, it could happen, right?
of what the hell's going on. And that's what this video is for. I've been a fan since Tekken 3. I own every
Kangaroos
game in the
don't just
series.
box.
And these last few months, I have watched every prologue, studied every ending. I have plunged deep into the mythology so that I can cover it properly. Because I want everyone to know just how crazy this series really is. So, without further ado, let's talk about the insane lore of Tekken.
It's a non-zero chance. That'd be
So
so
one
dope.
thing I should address right off the bat, the name. Tekken is Japanese for Iron Fist, the title of the tournament that is featured in every single game. And I think we're all saying it wrong. I've been saying Tekken because that's what all the commercials said.
There are games, and then there's Tekken 3.
Oh yeah, Tekken 4 is here.
I will defeat the Tekken fighters. Tekken Tag Tournament.
But in the game itself, they say it very differently.
Enter the
Tekken Force.
When Tekken fighters attacked her,
Yeah, it's Tekken 7, Tekken Tag Tournament, Tekken Blood Vengeance.
Huh. Tekken.
We all
Do
make-
you think I become one of those people that pronounce it that way? I'm a Tekken head. I mean, I should be after the video, right? I'm not a Tekken guy. I'm a Tekken.
fun of Michelle Rodriguez, but she knew what was up.
Like literally spend all night playing like Tekken fighter games or
That was crazy.
Street Fighter.
So, you know, I just thought it was worth mentioning. Anywho, on to Tekken 1.
She watched this video too.
This game came out in 1994, where the saga begins with a father and his son who are training atop a giant mountain in Japan. This is the Mishima family, Heihachi and his 5-year-old son, Kazuya. And unfortunately for the little squirt, his dad is a colossal asshole. For Heihachi has brought his son to this mountain with the intent of throwing him into a ravine. The logic being that if the boy was worthy of carrying his legacy, he would survive the fall. Obviously, being 5 years old, there wasn't much Kaz could do to stop this. But throwing him off the cliff was the worst mistake Heihachi could have made, because not only does Kazuya survive, but he also vows revenge, their familial bond forever broken. We cut to 21 years later, where Heihachi is doing pretty good for himself. And this is where I start gushing about the guy. Not only is he my main when I'm playing the game, but the dude might be one of the most fascinating video game characters of all time. He is the CEO of the Mishima Zaibatsu, a gigantic conglomerate that not only runs sporting events, but also funds military projects. A corporation that is so big and so rich that it has branches in Europe and America. Originally, it was on the up and up until Heihachi's father, Jinpachi Mishima, passed away.
Oh no!
Look at that goddamn beard. One has to wonder if Jinpachi's death was legit, because as soon as Heihachi gains control, he starts using the company for organized crime. He's basically the head of the Yakuza if it extended to the whole goddamn world.
Whoa.
Oh, and no one dares cross Heihachi, because try as they might, the man is unkillable.
Yeah. Go beat his ass. Yo.
He is the
no,
strongest
indeed.
fighter in the world. A man so badass that he can catch a tomahawk with his fucking teeth. The dude is so intense that he once went into the wilderness and found a little baby grizzly cub. He brought the bear home and raised it to be his pet. But over the years, he taught it some new tricks, such as how to understand Japanese and how to fight.
This guy's dope as hell. This guy's sick. Holy shit.
Repeat. He raised a bear and taught it Mishima-style karate. Heihachi has a grizzly bear for a sparring partner.
Obviously,
This is a
Flame
playable
Siren. They
character,
all do.
By the way, you can fight as the bear Kuma, whose character model was ugly as hell in the original game. Well, maybe his CG.
Wait, they put the bear in OG. It's such OG lore that he's got the bear that it was one of the 8 playable fighters or whatever. That's sick. If we don't get Kuma in the game, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm only playing Kuma.
Render is better.
I play Volleybear in Rift. This is a terrible picture to pause on. I play Volleybear in Riftbound. I'm playing Kuma in UVS.
Oh my god! Oh, and it should be mentioned that it wasn't enough for Heihachi to throw his son off.
Hold on, can we actually talk about this for a second? My kid, not good enough. I'll throw him off the cliff. Can't follow my genes. Random bear in the woods? Now we're talking.
A cliff. He also adopted another child purely to be a rival to the boy. An orphan who is good at fighting off street punks, Li Chaolan was officially made a Mishima, where he enjoyed the Zaibatsu's grand wealth. If you think that Li loves his adopted father, no. Like I said, Heihachi is a shitty father. Anyway, Heihachi is on top of the world. He's rich, he's powerful, but he feels so dissatisfied. Say what you will about his criminal ties, the man only wants a fair fight. To meet that challenger who can finally push him to his limits and best him in combat. And so he comes up with a brilliant idea. The King of Iron Fist tournament. A call to every fighter in the world to see who can dethrone the Zaibatsu's head honcho and
These
win the
graphics are sick.
gigantic cash prize. And thus the stage for Tekken is set. A dozen weirdo fighters all coming together,
Paul!
including Kazuya, our would-be main character. Of course, you're not forced to play as Kazuya, but he is up front and center as the star. He gets the most screen time, he takes up all the space. Hell, the poster's tagline is all about him. But what I find interesting about this is that Kazuya is not a hero. At all. Typically in fighting games, the main character is a babyface. Ryu from Street Fighter, Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. These guys don't have any dark intentions, they just want to do the right thing and make the world a better place. But not Kazuya. Like, yeah, Heihachi's a criminal prick, but the goal isn't exactly noble. He wants to murder his father so that he can inherit the Zaibatsu and attain world domination.
As you do. What a sick main character. Holy shit, that's dope. That's dope.
He doesn't want to restore honor to the company, he wants to be the new big bad.
I want to kill
And
my
this isn't a
dad.
retcon. Even as early as the first instruction manuals, he is described as a cold-blooded man who wants his coup d'etat. The main character is morally gray, and you're not supposed to root for him. I find
But I do.
that fascinating. It really sets the tone for the Mishima storyline going forward. But let's talk about the other characters. Like Jack the Robot, a mechanical humanoid built by the Russian military. They enter Jack into the tournament because they caught wind of Kazuya's plans and want to stop him from winning.
The worst part about Jack, I think, in this picture in Tekken 1 is I don't know if I could tell him apart from any other Russian. Straight up. That guy looks like a normal Russian. Every Russian I've ever met, twinsies.
The rules for entering the tournament seem pretty lax because apparently it's okay for martial artists to fight giant robot men made of titanium.
Yeah.
Although to be
easy.
fair, Jack can't be that tough because its model was mass produced for jobbing. Yeah, it's not a unique machine. There are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of Jack robots that all operate exactly the same.
Makes more sense why I've only seen Russian people look like this.
And throughout the series, the fighters will dispatch
What
these
is
tin
this?
cans like they're nothing, because honestly, they are. Although
It's
these
a
moves
beat
have
'em
been
up?
programmed to
What is
dab
happening?
on top of their beaten opponents, so I'll say that's kind of amazing. Who designed the Jack robots? Why, Russian scientist Dr. Boskanovich. He's not a playable character, but he would become one in Tekken 3. This guy's basically the Dr. Light of Tekken. He's an incredibly talented scientist who will be responsible for a lot of the crazier fighters coming up. For now, though, he simply built Jack, and he made an artificial arm for another contestant, the Samurai Yoshimitsu. Which again, swords are allowed? In the Iron Fist tournament?
Damn right.
Whatever. Yoshi
Tekken
here
2
is
had
a
a
bit of
beat
a
'em up in it.
Robin
That's
Hood.
so
He
cool.
belongs to the Manji clan, a notorious bandit group that steals from the rich and gives to the poor. This clan has been around for hundreds of years, which leads to another fun factoid. Tekken is not the only series this character is in, because Yoshimitsu's ancestor, who has the exact same name and fighting style, is also present in Namco's Soul Calibur franchise. And
holy.
Heihachi Mishima was actually a guest character for the PlayStation 2 version of Soul Calibur 2.
Even Kuma is stronger than you.
But you don't care about that because everyone vastly prefers the GameCube version. It has Link, for God's sake.
God, I wish.
The most interesting
True.
thing about
Scream at me.
Yoshi here is that his sword, which is also called Yoshimitsu, is a demon blade that eats people's blood. And if the weapon is not sufficiently fed, it will gain the power to control its wielder's mind and unleash all kinds of evil. Luckily, this is never a problem because Yoshimitsu always punishes the wicked. But still, that's kind of insane. Next up is King, a Mexican wrestler who always wears a jaguar mask. We only ever see his face once in the very first opening ever. He wrestles so that he can earn money to keep his orphanage afloat.
What a cool guy. King sounds dope.
His Mexican orphanage that's filled with Japanese children.
Oh, of course, as you
I
do.
love this cheesy live-action ending.
As
The
you
strangest
do.
thing about King is that he's not a
King.
mutant, he's not a science experiment, he's just a normal man. But rather than speak a normal language, he only speaks in Jaguar.
Don't lie to me.
Tekken is like the only franchise I can think of where every character speaks their own native language. Usually it's all English or all Japanese, but not this game. Paul Phoenix, the American, only speaks English. Heihachi only speaks Japanese. Lily speaks French, Leo speaks German, Claudio speaks Italian. It's so strange to have a scene where 3 different characters are saying 3 different languages, yet they can all understand each other just fine. They can also understand Kuma, and all he does is roar. Tekken is so goddamn weird.
It is
It
awesome.
should also be mentioned that there is Armor King, another wrestler who wears a jaguar mask. His eye was crushed by King, which caused his wrestling career to suffer.
Oh.
He's entered the tournament for revenge. And then there is Anna and Nina Williams, the Williams sisters. Their parents taught the two how to fight to the point that they're both deadly assassins. But
Okay.
family or no, these two can't stand each other. Anna always jealous of the attention her father gave Nina, and the latter always being cold and dismissive. Except when she's watching Tom and Jerry, because Nina's a big fan of Tom. I didn't make that up. That's what the manual says.
Tom and Jerry.
These two fight a lot. Like one time, Nina deliberately stole Anna's shoe, got called out on it, and so she slaps the shit out of Anna, who cries at the abuse, and she laughs it off because, haha, I did have this shoe. In Tekken 2, she just barges into the bathroom while Anna's showering and snaps a nudie pic without her consent. But it's okay because Anna got revenge when these 3 bodybuilder guys came up to flirt with them, and Anna took all 3 of them home. No gangbang for you, Nina. It should also be mentioned that
Wild.
Namco apparently thought Nina was so popular that she deserved her own spin-off game, Death by Degrees for the PS2. It sucks, don't play it. I'm not covering it because it's wildly inconsistent with Nina's backstory in the main games. But maybe I'll give it a deeper look some other time.
That's okay.
I gotta speed this up. There's Michelle, the Native American whose family was ruined by the Zaibatsu. There's Ganryu, a Japanese sumo wrestler whose shameful behavior lost him respect. There's
no.
Martial Law, yes, that's his name, a chef working in San Francisco.
Yeah.
He looks and fights like Bruce Lee because every fighting game ever needed a Bruce Lee type.
Obviously.
Anger into it.
Marshall is best friends with another contestant named Paul Phoenix, and you don't want to sleep on this guy. He may be a brash, blowhard American, his hair would make Eraserhead blush, but this guy is legit. He once fought Kazuya Mishima before the tournament, and the battle ended in a draw. He didn't win, but he didn't lose either.
I do like these spiked
he is
knuckles.
on par with the protagonist. Remember that for later. And finally, I'll mention Wang Jinrei, a merchant and longtime friend of the Mishima family, in particular, Jinpachi. He's on good terms with Heihachi, but he doesn't really approve of all the criminal activity. Okay, that's the roster. Tekken 2 will go by a lot quicker because there's a lot of setup here. Going by character bios and story details from future games, I put together bullet points for what matches happened and who canonically won. This tournament's pretty straightforward. In the game itself, not every fighter is playable from the get-go. You have to unlock them through a specific
There's a bear, dude.
character's campaign. And those unlock fights are all canon. Paul Phoenix defeated Kuma, Kazuya defeated Lee, Yoshimitsu defeated Ganryu, and even worse, he took all of his money. Money that he will not be getting back because it was given to people in much more need. King defeated Armor King, but this one had a happy ending because Armor King realizes that he had truly been bested by a far superior wrestler. And rather than hold a grudge forever, he decided it would be better to be in his corner, to be an ally instead of an enemy. Well, that's nice. And then we come to the semifinals, the winner going on to face Heihachi, Kazuya versus Paul Phoenix. Their last fight ended in a draw, but this time, Kazuya pulls it out. He advances to the grand finals where Daddy Dearest awaits him. And for the first time ever, Heihachi knows the sting of defeat as his son bests him in the tournament. In what could only be called poetic justice, Kazuya decides to do the same thing that his father had done to him. That fucking smile. The dude just murdered his father, and it's like, what a happy, wholesome moment. Yay! That animation will never get old. But yeah, folks, with Heihachi supposedly dead, the Mishima Zaibatsu is now Kazuya's to control. Little does he know, however, it's gonna take more than that to kill his old man.
Whoa. Okay, so Sam Tate, friend of the show, obviously, just sent me another YouTube video to watch that is all about Tekken 1. So we're gonna watch this, fully trusting Sam. I'm actually gonna message him real fast. Can I watch this on the stream? Smile. Just to make sure. Because it looks like a funny video, but sometimes funny videos can cross a line. Yeah, it turns out volcanoes and ravines just aren't very deadly. That's what I've heard. There's like one naked baby for like a second. We'll run it. Go to the screen top right.
Oh, Heihachi, look! Baby Kazuya's taking his first steps.
That's impressive. You have strong fighter's legs, Kazuya. But now you must prove yourself with a real challenge.
Dada? Why did you throw our baby off of a cliff? I needed that.
A true Mishima should be able to climb back up. My father did it to me. His father did it to him. Then I did it to my father. Sigh, but it seems Kazuya wasn't up to it. Come on, I'll make you a new one.
I lived, bitch.
Kazuya, my boy, you did it! Mwah, mwah, mwah. You are a true Mishima.
I'm going to win this King of Iron Fist tournament held by my father, so I can finally defeat him for throwing me off that cliff when I was but a wee babby. Then I'll throw him off a cliff, just as my father did to me, and just as his father did to him, and Grandpa.
Huh, good luck. Good luck. You'll have to stop some of the world's strongest fighters to even get a chance of taking me on in battle.
These strongest fighters look a lot like Runoff from the local zoo.
No.
Literally.
Go ahead, Kazuya. Finish me off. Well done, Kazuya. You've made me proud. I always knew that one day you would follow in my footsteps.
All right, that was the video we just watched. Sam's right. When you're right, dude.
So 2 years have passed since the original Tekken. Kazuya is now on top of the world. But like I said before, this man is not a good guy. His goal is world domination, and he uses the Zaibatsu in all kinds of nefarious ways to achieve that. Assassinations, drug dealing, kidnappings. The guy.
I hope after every video somebody gives me a like we spent 20 minutes on this. Somebody gives me a 2-minute animation to be like, and this was Tekken 2, because that would be a very funny trend.
He acquires all kinds of assets to build his empire. He even abducts Russian scientist Dr. Boscovich
Taking a bridge. That's what I'm saying.
Him to work on some pretty weird shit. I don't know how or why Kazuya comes up with this. I only know that it was him and not his father. So he tells the Zaibatsu, I want you to poach as many animals as you can. Cheetahs, wolves, kangaroos. I don't want just an army of people. I want an army of beasts. And so, through some mad science, Dr. Boscovich creates the first transgenic military animal, Roger. A boxing kangaroo that's meant to impose fear in the enemies of the Mishima Zaibatsu.
As you do.
I'd like to imagine that because Boscovich was a hostage, that maybe this was his way of messing with them. But even still, you don't get this far without supervision. It's pretty hard to take Kazuya seriously when his big plan to conquer the world is to sick boxing kangaroos against his enemies. But it gets even better, because the second military animal would come from an extinct species. Using DNA pulled from fossilized insects, Boscovich then applies his experiment to a full-grown velociraptor.
As
the
you
man
do.
literally brought back the dinosaurs just so he could slap one with boxing gloves. I mean,
yeah.
shit, man. You'd think resurrecting dinos would earn you a pretty sizable chunk of change, but hey, what do I know? Now, these two characters are very jokey inclusions, but believe it or not, their existence is critical. Just absolutely crucial to paving the way for the future. For
I love
Kazuya's
that.
animal poaching has caught the attention of the WWWC, a wildlife protection agency of which a certain woman is a member. That woman being Jun Kazama. If you have any passing knowledge of Tekken lore, you know what that means. If Kazuya hadn't tried to create military kangaroos, Jin Kazama would never have been born. But I'm getting ahead of myself. In order to establish his dominance to the world, as well as eliminate his enemies, Kazuya decides to sponsor the King of Iron Fist Tournament 2. It attracts the attention of the exact same cast from the original, as well as a few new faces like the Hong Kong detective Lei Wulan, a Taekwondo fighter named Beck, and a Muay Thai fighter named Bruce. The latter a bodyguard for Kazuya alongside Ganryu and Anna Williams. But hark! Be careful to anyone who dares enter this tournament, for it is rumored that Kazuya has made a deal with the devil himself. What I find interesting when you look at the promotional material of this game is how the roles are reversed. Whereas before, the entire cast was surrounding Kazuya, now they find themselves surrounding Heihachi. The hero is now the villain is now the hero. How many sequels managed to pull that off? It once again solidifies how fluid Tekken's morality is. Heihachi's not a good guy, but he might be better than Kazuya. Either way, a lot of the stakes seem much more personal this time around. Yoshimitsu wants to save Dr. Boskanovich. Kuma wants revenge on Paul Phoenix. King has become a drunk because his orphanage is going under, and only with the support of Armor King can he pick himself up. One of the Jack
He said,
units
"Put your
wants
mask
to feel
on, punk."
emotion and identity, and actually saves a little girl named Jane from a war-torn battle. It vows to protect the little girl no matter what.
Okay.
Michelle's mother has been kidnapped by the Zaibatsu because of a certain medallion she has. A medallion that will serve a much bigger purpose in Tekken 3. And while she's dealing with that, she also has to be careful of Ganryu because the sumo wrestler has been madly in love with Michelle since meeting her in the last tournament.
Obviously.
Apparently, he begged Kazuya to rig the game so that they would fight each other. Li Chaolan decides to
And that's what I do when I have a crush on somebody. I'm like, hey, let's fight. Like, with our hands.
side with his stepbrother Kazuya, although it's not because of brotherly love. Ultimately, he wants to sabotage his plans with the help of Wang Jinrei. And Heihachi, well, the man has a lot of pride. He has spent the last 2 years training like a beast, knowing that his son has finally lived up to the Mishima name. He will not take him lightly this time. The
Also,
stage is
kings
set,
have the
the King of
casual
Iron Fist
outfit
Tournament
team. It's
2
unbeatable.
begins.
Oh.
So right off the bat, Paul defeats Kuma again.
No!
Heihachi faces off with Li Chaolan and puts him in his place. He tells his adopted son that when I get the Zaibatsu back, your ass is out. Michelle defeats Ganryu, telling the guy, sorry buddy, I'm not interested. She also gets her mother back, as well as the medallion.
Okay.
Lei Wulon faces off with Bruce.
That's a pretty dope prize for first round. First round of tournament, get everything, get the entire thing that I asked for, arc-wise.
And emerges victorious. Lei found information connecting Bruce to the death of his old partner, but when he tries to pursue him after the tournament, Bruce's getaway plane crashes and he supposedly dies.
Oh,
Nina Williams enters the tournament to assassinate Kazuya, and whether she got defeated by him or by Anna, it's not very clear. The point is that she suffers defeat, and Kazuya, being the absolute shithead that he is, forces her into a cryosleep chamber. He renders her unconscious to forever be a human test subject.
Cool.
It's at this point that Anna realizes that she doesn't want to live in a world without Nina, and so she asks to be put in cryosleep as well. And Kazuya's just like, alright, whatever, I don't care. The Williams sisters together forever. But whatever cryo research is gonna happen, it'll happen without Dr. Boskanovich, because Yoshimitsu accomplishes his mission when he boards a helicopter that the good doctor is on. He takes out the guards and makes off with the scientist, slowly disembarking with his artificial propeller arm.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Meanwhile, Jack, one of Boskanovich's creations, is playing with the little girl Jane while something sinister happens overhead. A giant space cannon designed by a scientist named Dr. Abel aims specifically for the one Jack unit that's competing in the tournament. It fires off a giant laser that pierces Jack's neck and shuts the machine down.
Oh no.
Jane, traumatized over losing her friend, dedicates the rest of her life to studying robotics. Now, I don't know how well Jun Kazama...
It almost feels like some like Shadow the Hedgehog lore. If Maria would have survived.
did in the tournament. All I know is that she met with Kazuya, and she's not just a wildlife protector. She's not just a martial artist. There is something about the Kazama bloodline that allows them to feel the spirits and energy all around them. And when she meets Kazuya, she senses a sinister force, an
Like the
evil
devil?
aura that seems to be controlling his destiny. Almost like he's a good man, but there's some element that makes him do the evil that he does. And Kazuya, for whatever reason, is drawn to Jun. He finds her mysterious, her interest in him very intriguing. The two get close. Very close. And at some point during the tournament, the two have sex. Yeah, these two should absolutely hate each other, but you know what they say, opposites attract. This is a PS1 fighting game. There are no scenes to elaborate on. Unless Tekken 8 or the Netflix anime series want to explain how this happened, you just have to take my word that Jun and Kazuya hit it off. Jun doesn't make much of an impact in the tournament. Hell, she doesn't even make it to the semifinals. No, that honor belongs to Heihachi and goddamn Paul Phoenix again.
Damn right.
Yeah, for the second year in a row, he got that close to winning, but this time around, a gigantic traffic accident clogged up the expressway, and Paul was unable to reach his match in time.
That's a hilarious thing to do in a fighting game. that's really, really funny. It just being like, sorry for some reason we wrote the story that he didn't lose the match, he just didn't show up.
Loss by disqualification. Paul, dude,
So
this is why you show up early, man.
That's so fucking funny, dude.
Come on. And so it ends like it did before, with Heihachi and Kazuya. And during the fight, Heihachi discovers the evil force that Jun had sensed, because this is where players first get introduced to Devil Kazuya. He sheds his clothes to become a purple devil man who can fly around and shoot lasers out of his forehead.
What?
And this isn't the result of one of Boskanovich's experiments. This is a natural part of Kaz's being that's been there since the very beginning.
Whoa.
The devil gene. A strange mutation that allows him to transform into a completely different being. But he doesn't keep his consciousness, as the devil is its own person. Devil Kazuya has a will of its own and completely different ambitions compared to its host. The devil only exists to kill, to destroy, to cause all kinds of pain and suffering.
Wait, did he heal? Am I crazy? Oh, he had taken damage yet. I was like, this character seems broken in the game.
The devil only exists to kill, to destroy, to cause all kinds of pain and suffering. It should also be mentioned that there's an angel in this game as well. Some kind of good side to Kazuya that acts as the final boss when you play as the devil. She only appears in Tekken 2, and aside from the tag spin-offs, she never comes back or gets referred to ever.
Okay.
But in case you were curious, Kazuya's good side is depicted as a blonde white woman. So hey. But none of this matters.
Yes, you do.
Devil or no, laser beams or no, Heihachi Mishima is the strongest man in the world, and he will air juggle your ass. Even with the scary demonic power, Kazuya loses to his father. Heihachi regains the Mishima Zaibatsu and once again proves
That's a
his
crazy beam. That took so much. Look how much health this took. It took like this much
his
health.
Father. Heihachi regains the Mishima Zaibatsu and once
Look at
again
that crazy
proves his
move.
dominance. And thus he aims to rectify a mistake he made over 23 years ago. He shouldn't have thrown Kazuya into a ravine. Instead, he should have thrown him into a volcano. Yes, he picks up
That's
Kaz's
crazy.
unconscious body and chucks it into molten lava. Then he flies away by helicopter while the damn thing erupts in the background. Kazuya Mishima is dead. Heihachi does not fuck around. With the devil taken care of and things returning
That's
to
what he gets for not
normal,
stepping into the third
only
dimension.
trace of
True.
Kazuya left is his child. One that will be raised by Jun Kazama.
Whoa. Tekken 3!
Tekken 3 is a turning point for the series in many ways. On the gameplay side, this is when it started getting really good. Faster combat, more fluidity, it all feels drastically better than the two games that came before it. And everyone took notice, which is why Tekken 3 is often considered one of the greatest PlayStation games ever made. But in terms of lore, this game changed the tone, the visual style, and even the time
Is that
frame.
Yoshimitsu?
Tekken 3 takes place 18 years after Tekken 2.
Whoa,
Where once
that's a
Heihachi
really long
had
time.
black hair, he now has gray hair.
Oh,
Where once we
okay.
followed Kazuya, we now follow his son. A new
Oh.
generation of fighters, a new era to unfold. A new energy had entered the franchise, and it has been intoxicating ever since.
Is this
So the
Jin?
story kicks off in South America, where an ancient evil awakens from some ruins. This evil is the god of fighting known as Ogre. Its origins are shrouded in mystery, with some theorizing that it was dropped on this planet by extraterrestrials. It speaks a weird language, it's a big muscular
Whoa.
green man, and the only thing it lives for is absorbing chi of
And it looks important enough to have come back in a later game. That's what I'm seeing from this
other
image.
fighters. I don't know how martial artist energies differ from ours, but Ogre does. And with the ability to sense this power, he travels all over the globe to battle. And this actually leads to casualties as Ogre finds King the Mexican wrestler and actually kills him. Oh yeah, did you think King in Tekken 7 was the same King in Tekken 1? No way, Jose. Ogre beats the Taekwondo fighter Beck so badly that the dude ends up in a coma until Tekken 5. Martial artists from all over the world start disappearing, leading to Detective Lei Wulon to open up a case for it. But by far, the biggest target of ogres is Jun Kazama. Ever since
Because she has the blood, the cool blood or whatever, that lets her talk to spirits.
Tekken 2, Jun has been raising her son Jin in Yakushima, and she's trained him in martial arts, she's taught him good values, the importance of morality. But now something's coming. Because Jun can sense evil energies, she warns Jin that if anything ever happens to her, he needs to seek out his grandfather, Heihachi. And sure enough, Ogre shows up, trashes the place, and knocks Jin unconscious. When he comes to, both Ogre and his mother are gone. Aside from the non-canon tag games, Jun never comes back. Heihachi is in...
Wait. What? But we have her in our game. Is this from Tekken 3? Wait. Huh? This is from Tekken 3? That's crazy. Okay, we'll continue.
Intrigued by this ogre. He's always heard of it, but now the beast has finally woken up. If he could capture Ogre, study his body, study his blood, perhaps Heihachi could unlock that strength for himself. And Jin, his grandson,
I'm not worrying about
a chip off the old block. He takes to Mishima-style karate very well, convincing Heihachi that he would make for the perfect bait to draw Ogre out. And naturally, Jin is fueled with hate, fueled with revenge, desperate to fight Ogre once more.
This would eventually lead Tekken 8. Correct. Yeah.
Starting the king.
We're gonna cover Tekken 8. I've got a goal to start playing Tekken 8 tonight if we hit it. Otherwise, we'll do it later. Yeah, this is Tekken 1 to 7. This came out before Tekken 8, but we're gonna be playing through the story mode of Tekken 8 at some point.
Of Iron Fist Tournament 3. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. He still takes care of Jin and puts him in high school. The Mishima Polytechnic High School, to be exact. A facility that not only has framed pictures of Heihachi everywhere...
That's sick.
But also a giant golden statue so that the students...
That's sick.
...can worship him like a god.
Why wouldn't you?
Again, I find Heihachi so damn fascinating because the guy is just so in love with himself. Anyone who can win the King of Iron Fist is given a trophy that is modeled after his own head. The dude literally has a bowling alley in the Zaibatsu headquarters with these trophies as the bowling pins.
That's sick.
I tell ya, I would love to have Heihachi as my grandpa. And I'm not the only one, as Jin goes to school with Ling Xiaoyu, a Chinese girl who's distantly related to Wang Jinrei. One day, she stows aboard a yacht belonging to the Mishima Zaibatsu, and despite being a teenager, she single-handedly kicks all of the guards' asses. Heihachi finds this so impressive and so amusing that he agrees to take her as a ward, enrolling her into his school. And as a gesture of good faith, he also gives her a bodyguard. Panda! Specifically, a panda bear that knows Mishima-style karate.
Obviously,
why a panda bear? There's gotta be better and easier ways to give Xiaoyu protection, you know? This is the second time Heihachi's raised
obviously.
a bear. Actually, no, sorry, I have to scratch that. With the time jump, the original Kuma passed away of natural causes.
Oh no.
I know, that's sad, right?
I'm sad.
But don't worry, because Kuma had a baby cub, and that bear is also named Kuma.
Obviously.
Yeah, Heihachi isn't a very creative person, especially when you realize that Kuma is the Japanese word for bear.
Yeah.
Kuma may as well be exactly the same as his dad, down to the rivalry with Paul Phoenix. Although there is one difference. He's in love. Yes, Kuma is in love with Panda, who always rejects his advances. But I believe in him. One day he'll win her over. Besides being Xiaoyu's best friend, Panda is also her method of transportation, and this bear must have a rocket jet up her ass because holy shit, Panda runs about as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog. I just can't with this series sometimes.
Fun fact.
Jin Kazama has done
Who
his
is
fair share of
Heihachi's
fighting,
favorite
though,
son?
and this earns him the rivalry of Hwoarang. Hwoarang is a Taekwondo fighter who served under Beck from Tekken 2, but with his master hospitalized because of Ogre, the kid's gotta let out his frustration somehow. He and Jin once battled each other to a draw, much like
That was a crazy emote. Hold on. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that shrug one more time.
frustration somehow.
Look at this
he
shrug.
and Jin once battled each other to a draw,
That was a dope shrug.
much like Kazuya and Paul before them. And you can bet that these two will be seeing more of each other as the series goes on. Eddie Gordo, one of the coolest characters ever. Tekken 3 was my introduction to capoeira. I had never seen anyone fight with
I think Eddie Gordo might be like one of the most famous characters of all time, like from fighting games, straight up. Like, I know nothing about Tekken. Eddie Gordo is my touchstone.
dancing flair before. It was just so damn unique. Eddie was sent to prison years ago for the murder of his father, a crime he didn't commit. While behind bars, he met a capoeira master who agreed to teach Eddie everything he knew. Once he gets out of prison, he seeks out the Mishima Zaibatsu to help him find his father's killers. Brian Fury, oh man, this guy's a nutjob. Originally a corrupt police officer in Hong Kong,
Okay.
Brian was killed when he got involved in a shootout. Dead, finito, deceased. That is until his body was recovered by Dr. Abel, the creepy scientist that took out Jack. If Boskanovich is the Dr. Light, then Abel is the Dr. Wily. Always
Okay.
feeling underappreciated by comparison, he vows to create the ultimate bad science that nobody can deny. And so he resurrects Brian with a cyborg body, all in the hopes of perfecting an army of super soldiers. As a cyborg, Brian Fury is damn near invincible. Bullets bounce off the guy. He can shrug off artillery from a tank. The dude is now so strong, he can lift incredibly heavy objects and swing them around like it's Super Mario 64.
Gonna get his ass beat by a panda bear, though. I can just feel it. I can
Becoming a
feel it
cyborg
coming.
was the greatest thing that ever happened to the guy, because what Brian enjoys most is fighting. The thrill of battle, the satisfaction of killing. When he wins a match in Tekken, he actually pummels the shit out of his downed opponent. This guy has no chill, and if you see him in a dark alleyway, you'd be wise to get the hell out of there. The universe of Tekken works in mysterious ways. Ever since Ogre awakened and went on a rampage, another being came to life as well. Mokujin. Mokujin is a 2,000-year-old training dummy whose entire motivation is to eliminate Ogre.
That's cool.
This is a unique fighter in that it mimics every other fighting style in the game, switching out how it plays every single round. I want to say that Mokujin is just a comic relief character because all of its endings are very strange. Like, apparently Mokujin has a giant big-breasted wife who mistreats him badly, forcing him on errands in a live-action forest. Also, he loves playing Tekken 3, which is an arcade in this forest. In one ending, he literally visits the Bandai Namco headquarters for a tour, flirting with all of the ladies who work there. All of this is canon, goddammit!
Damn right.
And rounding off the roster, there's a few returning characters, but also a lot of new generation types. Instead of having Martial Law, we now have his son, Forest Law. Although, you know what's weird about that? From Tekken 4 onwards, Martial returns to enter the tournaments, and Forest doesn't. They establish that the son fights exactly like the dad, and then they go, you know what? We like the dad better.
Martial Law's a funnier name. So we're obviously going to pick Martial Law.
King's still in the game, but it's obviously a different person. It's a boy who grew up in the original King's orphanage, mentored by Armor King to be his replacement. Michelle has retired from fighting, but she taught everything she knows to her adopted daughter, Julia. Julia's goal is to reforest her land when all of a sudden the Mishima Zaibatsu kidnapped Michelle and the medallion she recovered in Tekken 2. It turns out that this object that got Michelle's father killed apparently has the power to control Ogre. I'm not sure if Heihachi ever figured out how to use it. Remember Jane, the little girl that Jack saved? Well, after 18 years of learning robotics, she manages to install Jack's consciousness into a new experimental body, thus creating Gunjack. The Williams sisters finally wake up from their cryosleep. Apparently, they sensed Ogre's presence and it jolted them awake. Very peculiar. Anna came out fine, but Nina emerges with amnesia. Other than her fighting and assassination skills, she doesn't remember anything about the person she used to be. What was the cryo machine's purpose, anyway? The reason it was created in the first place was so that Dr. Boskanovich could find the solution to eternal life. Something he was desperate to acquire after losing his daughter Alyssa to an unexpected illness.
Oh,
keep that in mind for the future.
I'm sure that's not Alyssa,
looking to collect
who is the character
Ogre's
in the
blood
game.
to help with Boskanovich's deteriorating health, a plot point that is all but forgotten in Tekken 4 onwards. And last but not least, Paul Phoenix is back at the ripe old age of 46, and he's looking to get the glory he could never attain.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, folks, that's the roster. The stage is set, Heihachi announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3, and I guess Ogre's just gonna show up. See, I've always wondered how exactly this whole thing works. The assumption is that the gathering of fighters will attract Ogre to them, but the final match also takes place in the temple that he came from. Is it empty? Is Ogre sleeping in there? Is the Green Monster Man honoring the results of the tournament, or does he coincidentally show up at the finals? I'd like to imagine that Heihachi used Michelle's medallion to control him, but it also asks the question of why have a fighting tournament at all? Maybe that Netflix Tekken series will help explain this a lot better.
Is there a Netflix Tekken series? I didn't know that. Should I watch that? Is that out?
Need to know is that it's a video game-ass video game, and Ogre's the final boss. So first up, Paul Phoenix defeats Kuma again.
Imagine Kuma's got a bracket demon, and his name is Paul Phoenix. Imagine go to a tournament and like every round one, you fight against the guy that beat your ass 3 times in a row. Or better yet, beat your dad 2 times in a row. You come for...
Seriously, this is getting to be a broken record, but this is constantly established in Kuma's backstories. These bears just can't catch a break. Jin Kazama defeats his rival Warang. To be honest, this isn't outright confirmed, but going by the wording of Warang's Tekken 4 prologue and his attitude in his non-canon ending, it just seems like they definitely battled each other. But of course, I could be wrong. At some point, Julia manages to rescue her mother Michelle, and Eddie Gordo discovers that the man who killed his father was none other than the late Kazuya Mishima. Oh, and at some point, Dr. Abel activates his space cannon again in the hopes of trying to kill Gunjack like he did Jack 2. And this ending's kind of interesting. If you watch it as is in the Tekken 7 menus today, you're getting the bad ending. The ending where Abel nukes the area so badly that it kills both Gunjack and Jane. For whatever reason, Tekken 3 gave Gunjack 2 endings, because if you beat the story mode a second time, the same ending will play out, except this time around, Gunjack spawns a force field that protects the two of them just fine. I don't know what the logic was there, but someone behind Tekken 7 obviously didn't know this, as only the bad ending is viewable.
Tekken Bloodlines
And
with a
that's
Netflix
about
show.
it.
Oh,
There's
interesting.
not much to go off of reading material from future games. The details of the tournament seem pretty ambiguous. But we definitely know how it ends. The final battle takes place in the South American ruins. It's Ogre versus Paul Phoenix. Yeah. Paul manages to hang in there until he comes face to face with the monster itself. It's a fierce fight between the two competitors, but there can only be one winner. And that winner was Paul Phoenix.
Damn right.
I'm not kidding. That's actually the lore.
Paul went undefeated through the entire King of Iron Fist Tournament 3.
Ooh. Stun's a pretty good keyword, guys. I'm just letting you know. Stun's really good. There's not enough stun hate in the game, and that's what I've been saying.
Even triumphed over Ogre.
The monster that killed King, that killed Jun, that put Beck in the hospital, the big bad of Tekken 3, taken out by the ultimate underdog.
But everybody's eyes well every turn.
Nowadays, Paul Phoenix finds himself
Rising
as a
uppercut
bit
on my
of a
rival's
comic relief
turn.
character, always being put into silly situations. But in the 90s, this dude consistently made it to the finals of every single tournament, being on equal terms with both Kazuya and Ogre. I love this aspect because sometimes it gets kind of boring seeing the same main characters take the crown. And Paul getting so damn close when he has nothing to do with them, That's the chaos I live for. But I have to burst the bubble and explain why he didn't win the tournament.
USA
You see,
pride, baby.
Ogre actually has two forms, and while Paul celebrated over beating the first, he didn't stick around to actually see the beast transform. And thus, Ogre becomes true Ogre, a gigantic winged snake-armed fire-breathing abomination that Jin Kazama takes on. Now, Tekken 4 says that Paul was undefeated, so I have to wonder if he actually battled Heihachi and Jin, or if Ogre interfered before Paul could take Jin on. Either way, Jin gets the ultimate victory.
You win.
Ogre disintegrates into goop, and Jin Kazama has avenged his mother. He has
Nice.
won the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3. Too bad he won't be allowed to enjoy the victory. Jesus Christ! Not only is Heihachi a shitty father, he's a shitty grandpa too. With Ogre defeat only is Heihachi a shitty father, he's a shitty grandpa too.
Oh my god, the
With Ogre defeated,
swagger on
Jin is
him.
no longer any use to him. Just another blood relative getting ready to knock him off his perch. Plus, this
That was
is
dope.
Kazuya's son, which means there's a very good chance that this kid has some devilish tricks up his sleeve. And well...
Oh no, that guy's getting errated twice.
Oh! You gotta love how Heihachi was thrown headfirst through a thick stone wall, was spiked into the ground from a massive fall, and the dude just gets up like it's nothing.
Damn right. This guy's
But yeah.
this guy's such a Heihachi fan. It's so funny.
Jin Kazama definitely has the devil gene. And now he's on the run. Not just from Heihachi, but also his dad.
Wait. Yeah, you about to have the broken Cortex? Damn right.
I personally love Tekken 4.
Oh.
I know it's the black sheep on a competitive level, but in terms of atmosphere and music and overall presentation, I always thought this game was amazing. It was the first entry to start having prologues before a character's story, and that saves me a world of research. Everything I told you about Tekkens 1 through 3 required me reading instruction manuals, strategy guides, and the wiki. Lots of research to do, whereas now, we've got definitive storytelling. Thank God. So 2 years have passed since the defeat of Ogre. Jin Kazama has been hiding in Brisbane, Australia, where he's been unlearning Heihachi's teachings. Because Jin now loathes the Mishima bloodline and everything associated with it. Heihachi has been
That happens when you get shot with a gun from your grandpa. I can imagine. It hasn't happened to me yet, but...
searching for him this whole entire time. You see, even though the Zaibatsu recovered Ogre's body, he can't actually use its power without one key ingredient. The devil gene.
Oh.
Without his grandson,
Convenient.
there's just nothing he can do. But one day, the Zaibatsu brings him brand new information about G Corporation, a biotech firm that deals in genetic research. It turns out that after the King of Iron Fist Tournament 2, they recovered Kazuya's body from the volcano. How did they know to find him in there? Was Heihachi just bragging to everyone he knew? Like, yeah, I threw my bitch-ass son in there. It was awesome! But if the company has Kazuya's body, that means Heihachi can steal it and get the devil gene.
Get the
So
devil
he sends
gene.
in the Tekken Force, the Zaibatsu's military
Tekken.
squad, to ransack the G
Tekken.
Corporation building. They bust in, dispose of the scientists, steal all kinds of data like it's nothing. Until they don't. Because all of a sudden, one man single-handedly kicks their ass.
And he looks dapper doing it. Holy.
Oh yeah! Mad Science rears its ugly head again because the G Corporation actually brought this fucker back from the dead. Not only that, but they also performed various experiments on Kazuya over the years, helping him discover a way to unify the devil gene, to eliminate the other persona and gain complete control.
Scary.
Bad day for Heihachi. But
Dude, this is
presents an
sick.
opportunity. Heihachi announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4, and instead of just getting a trophy, the winner will gain control of the Mishima Zaibatsu itself. God damn!
That's crazy.
Kazuya definitely recognizes this for the trap that it is, but gladly participates anyway.
He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Jin, upon hearing of both the tournament and his father's survival, also rushes in to eliminate his family for good. Certainly no love lost for his evil father. But yeah, Tekken 4's got a lot going on in this story, with only 3 of the characters being new. Instead of having Eddie Gordo, we have Christy Montero. She is the granddaughter of the capoeira master who taught Eddie how to fight. After Iron Fist 3, Eddie
And I'm sure there are no pictures of her on the internet. None.
passed this knowledge on to her, making her gameplay damn near identical. When Eddie leaves to confront his father's killer, she chases after by entering the tournament. And then there's Craig Marduk, a Valetudo cage fighter. This guy was on top of the mixed martial arts world.
Dude, that guy's got a chest and a half.
But then one day he got caught in some kind of scandal, and with public shame comes bitterness and resentment. Marduk is an angry motherfucker. He takes what he wants, and no one will deny him.
Oh, yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. You need to get with me, girl.
I am not into Neanderthals.
I always get what I want.
I'm sure he'll wait for Anna to wake up.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
politely ask again for
what a
consent.
cool guy. Yeah. Yuck.
His attitude
Excuse me.
boils over one day at the bar when he picks a fight with someone and murders them. This gets him sent to prison. He'd be serving a much longer sentence if not for some mysterious benefactor. One who manages to pay off the judiciaries and invites Marduk to Iron Fist 4. Who is this benefactor?
Heihachi.
It's King. For you
Oh!
see, the man that Marduk murdered was actually Armor King. Yes! Armor King is dead and his apprentice wants revenge. He enters the tournament hell-bent on
Yo, that's sick.
destroying his master's killer.
That's so
Steve
sick.
Fox is a young British boxer with a weird scar on his arm. He was adopted as a kid and doesn't remember his childhood. One day he refused to throw a fight for a mafia group known as the Syndicate. He flees to America, but eventually grows frustrated from all the subterfuge. Rather than live his life in fear, he chooses to join Iron Fist 4. Naturally, that puts him in the spotlight, and so the Syndicate hires an assassin to murder the man at the tournament.
As you
That
do.
assassin being Nina Williams, who still hasn't regained her memory. But
okay.
she'll have to watch out for Lei Wulan, whose new case involves bringing down the Syndicate. Li Chaolan's evolution has always been fascinating to me. See, this guy was kicked.
Pause. I want you to listen to the words "has always been fascinating to me" and tell me that didn't sound just like Justin Birch. Just one more listen. Close your eyes.
Li Chaolan's evolution has always been fascinating to me. See,
That was uncanny. Oh wow. That was
this guy was kicked out of the Zaibatsu for siding with Kazuya, a guy he really doesn't like. And at first, he was kind of bitter about that, but then Lee decides
I can only hear Justin Birch now. That's
to
wild.
turn his life around. He adopts a new persona, becoming Violet, the CEO of Violet Systems. This company creates robots from housekeepers to fighting machines. Lee believes them to be the future. And this move pays off because the guy ends up as a playboy billionaire living in a mansion in the Bahamas. I gotta imagine the thing that attracts all
Got that same outfit, actually.
the ladies is his gigantic cock. Holy moly, even John Holmes would be jealous of this guy. I swear to God, I didn't edit that image. That is real. But I love the changing of expectations here. See, you...
Oh my god. Holy shit, this is the coolest fighting game of all time. That guy's just got a fat hog. And they were like, yep.
expect him to be a rich fuckboy, the dickhead rival Heihachi always wanted him to be. But instead, Lee is really chill. He's always siding with the good guys, he's always being courteous and lovely. The guy has a catchphrase now.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent. Excellent!
Anyway, he enters the tournament to help demonstrate the capabilities of Combat, a machine he designed that can copy any fighting style. This thing is a playable character and operates exactly like Mokujin did. Paul Phoenix did defeat Ogre, but since he left before its final form, he was not recognized as the winner of the last tournament. Paul becomes bitter, despondent, and even
he's got all that, respects women. Perfect.
Whining.
Excellent.
The dude's dojo goes under, and he's basically living in the streets. He enters the tournament to once again prove the critics wrong.
Damn right.
And his buddy Martial Law isn't doing much better, as the guy's restaurant goes bankrupt competing with another restaurant chain. And this basically becomes the guy's constant struggle. Every single tournament from this point onwards, Law is always desperately competing for cash. And that's all I have to say. Kuma was not happy about losing to Paul Phoenix, so he figured to get his animal instinct back, he needed to leave the cushy comfort of the Zaibatsu and return to the wilderness. And out there, he gets that edge a bear like him is supposed to have. Brian Fury loves being a cyborg, but unfortunately, he has a very tiny lifespan. His body is deteriorating, and only Dr. Abel, who's now working for the Mishima Zaibatsu, can possibly save him. He enters the tournament to get closer to his creator. Julia invested money into G Corporation because they were the only company willing to help reforest her land. But after the Zaibatsu raided their labs, the reforestation data disappeared with them. She enters to get it back. And with that, the stage is set. It's a lot of setup, but this game has a lot of story. So first up, I have to assume that Paul Phoenix defeated Steve Fox. In Tekken 5, we get artwork depicting this, and there's no way that Paul could have lost. Steve might have faced off with Nina beforehand, but there's no real evidence to say that. But now it's time for another crazy reveal. Lei Wulon comes to Steve with information that he found in the Zaibatsu's mainframe, and this is bombshell stuff. Basically, Heihachi was trying to absorb Ogre's power, but he had to do a lot of experimenting to get results. And what makes better test subjects than children?
Yes.
But Heihachi doesn't abduct children. Oh, no. Instead, he takes advantage of the cryo chambers he's come back to and impregnates Nina Williams through in vitro fertilization. Oh yeah! Steve is Nina's lab baby, and the kid was experimented on by creepo doctors like it's some kind of horror show. And you know, when you remember that Anna was also in cryosleep, it really makes you wonder
Talk about Steve's parents yet? I think that's where we're at.
Good lord.
That's where we're going.
When the Syndicate briefs Nina on her target, she finds this surprising and decides to give up on the mission. But she's not exactly broken up over this. She doesn't try to talk to Steve. Hell, she willingly works with Heihachi later, reinforcing her cold, detached nature. To her, it's just business.
It's just business.
Afterwards, Lei Wulon would take down the Syndicate for good. King faces off with Marduk and absolutely destroys him. But it's still not enough. King follows Marduk into the hospital where he plans to end his life for good. But as he's about to deliver the killing blow, he notices the cage fighter's belongings on the table. And seeing that photo of Marduk's family made King realize that if he were to go through with this, he would be no better. It's a pretty good scene, as long as you can take the Jaguar part seriously.
And you can and you should. And you can and you should. He's so hot.
Now, Brian Fury ends up meeting with Dr. Abel, but unfortunately for the bad doctor, his ass gets punched so hard that his body makes a giant crack in the wall. Considering Brian's entire motivation for entering this tournament was to extend his lifespan, I'm not really sure why he did this. Brian loves being a cyborg. The guy would be dead otherwise, so what gives? Brian falls unconscious after this punch, but Yoshimitsu, oh yeah, Yoshi's in this game, ends up finding him. He takes Brian to the Manji clan's headquarters, where the good Dr. Boskanovich tells him that he will absolutely help. Well, ain't that nice of him? I wonder how Brian will repay the favor. But it should be mentioned that Dr. Abel never comes back. He's not in Tekken 5, not in Tekken 6, and when he does get a mention in Tekken 7, it's in the past tense, referring to the late Doctor's legacy. He's absolutely dead, so I have to make assumptions. Aside from winning the tournament, Brian's ending is absolutely canon, so there's no reason to assume that he didn't destroy Abel. Kinda surprising. I figured they would have kept that character around.
Nah.
For the 4th time in a row, Paul Phoenix faces off with Kuma. Well, technically the 2nd, but you know what I mean. But wallowing in misery can't compare to training in the wilderness. Kuma does what his father couldn't and defeats Paul Phoenix. At long last, right? I guess he's not that much of a joke character if he can beat the man who beat Ogre. Lee ends up facing off with Kazuya, but the Playboy is still no match for his stepbrother. He and Combat both suffer defeat. With victory over Lee, Kaz is all set to face off with his son, Jin Kazama. But unfortunately, the kid doesn't show up and ends up disqualified from the tournament. And that's because Heihachi sicked the Tekken Force onto him, where they proceed to drug and capture the lad.
No!
Thus, the final battle is a three-peat, as it's once again between Kazuya and Heihachi. Interesting thing about this encounter, when you play as any of the non-Mishimas, Heihachi is typically the final boss. Now, when he's facing off with Kazuya, he wears his traditional black gi, but with anyone else, he always enters the arena in a fundoshi. After all...
Why? Why would they make that choice? Why would they? Why is that the choice they made?
Heihachi is a warrior's warrior. He doesn't want any tricks, he doesn't need assistance, he wants to fight completely naked. The only problem is that it's incredibly revealing. Heihachi's bare ass is staring a player right in the face! Look at that thing! The string is riding right up his ass crack! I can practically see his taint! I don't mean to be disrespectful to Japanese culture, but good lord! Am I a gamer or a proctologist? So after a tough bout, believe it or not, Heihachi once again defeats Kazuya. I know, right? After that amazing opening, after all those years of wanting revenge, and the old man still pulls it off.
Yeah,
Heihachi
obviously.
is the official winner of the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4. But the old man's not done, and he tells Kaz that he can lead him to Jin. So the two travel deep into the Zaibatsu compound to a temple in the forest known as Hanmaru. There, Kazuya finds Jin tied up in chains, which couldn't be more perfect. The devil takes over Kazuya once again and explains that when Jun and Kaz got together, a part of himself went away into the body of Jin. Hence why he has the devil gene. But now's the time to take that power back. Or so the devil thinks. Because the 20 years of research that Kazuya has done has helped teach him how to unify this power. Fighting from within, Kazuya eliminates the devil persona completely, incorporating it into his own being. There is no devil anymore, only Kazuya.
It's just
sweet,
Kazuya.
He's a good guy now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, don't be silly. Kaz may be in control, but he still wants the same thing. The power to conquer the world. So Jin and Kazuya battle each other for the first time ever. A devil gene clash between father and son. And in the end, Jin Kazama proves his strength by beating his old man.
Kazuya keeps getting his ass beat this game.
That's when Heihachi takes advantage and picks a fight too! But this kid is so damn talented, he disposes both of the Mishimas at the exact same time. The chance to rid the world of this menace is finally here.
Mom! Jin
flies away from Hanmaru, leaving his vengeance behind. His father, his grandfather, they get to live for another day.
Of course.
Well,
we've got Tekken 5 coming out. Hey! God damn! The graphics are going crazy now! Holy shit, this game looks sick!
Immediately after Jin leaves, the temple gets bombarded by jack robots belonging to the G Corporation. The company has betrayed Kazuya and is now looking to dispose of him as well as Heihachi. Temporary military team up. Let's fucking go! The
How
opening to
cool.
Tekken 5 is one of the greatest that's ever existed. Just Kaz and Heihachi kicking all kinds of robot ass as the most badass tag team ever. For a while, anyway. Dick move, Kazuya.
Yeah,
Dude
kinda...
makes his getaway as the jacks pile on.
hit it with a nani.
Heihachi Mishima is dead.
For sure he is. Is this Blade?
Ugh, that's so badass. But yeah, folks, Heihachi Mishima is dead. Super dead. Never coming back. Unless you immediately start playing as either Kazuya or Raven in this game. Because you'll be watching the cutscenes and, oh, never mind, there he is. Heihachi is playable in Tekken 5, so the whole getting killed thing is kinda meaningless. So like, the jacks blow up Hanmaru, and Heihachi gets blasted from the site. Just launched across the entire forest, eventually landing in a grave in a nearby cemetery. He penetrates the dirt and just lies there, and lies there, and lies there. And 2 months later, Heihachi finally wakes up. Completely fine.
This story is so sick. I'm pissed I have never watched this before.
Ready to bust some heads.
This is
the
so
man
cool.
Is unkillable. The guy was literally buried under dirt for months, and he didn't need to eat food or anything.
Homie, he got tossed in a volcano. What do you mean?
Kryptonian. But yeah, interesting thing about Tekken 5. According to Tekken 6, Heihachi only woke up after Tekken 5. His entire existence is non-canon because he was never there. Which is a shame, because he missed out on a
What? What?
And he didn't need to eat food or anything. I think he might secretly be a Kryptonian. But yeah, interesting thing about Tekken 5. According to Tekken 6, Heihachi only woke up after Tekken 5. His entire existence is non-canon because he was never there. Which is a shame, because he missed out on a family reunion.
Wait, are they saying everything that happened in Tekken 5 was a dream for Heihachi? I'm confused. I'm very confused. This line makes no sense. We will keep watching. I'm sure they'll explain it.
For you see, the Hanmaru Temple's explosion didn't just send Heihachi and Kazuya away, it also woke someone up. The dead man that was chained up in the basement, Jinpachi Mishima. Heihachi's dad is here, back from the dead.
Obviously.
I alluded to this earlier, but yes, Heihachi killed his father and stole the Mishima Zaibatsu from him. But it wasn't a quick thing. He didn't just shoot him or throw him into a volcano. Instead, he chained him up in Hanmaru and made him lift a giant boulder until he eventually starved to death. Seems like an especially horrible way to die. Bad father, bad grandpa, terrible child. Good lord. So Jinpachi was dead until some thing took over his body and resurrected him. It's not the devil gene. It's just some evil force that's never really elaborated on. Seriously, beyond Lei Wulan's ending, no one talks about what's happened to him. Even the Tekken wiki is just like, it's a demonic force of unknown origins. So, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
The idea is that this demon force is slowly taking over his body, and when
it sucks that Tekken 5 looks so cool because none of this shit sounds interesting or fun.
gains full control, it's going to destroy the world. So using his last ounce of humanity, Jinpachi takes control of the Mishima Zaibatsu.
That makes sense.
And 2 months later, he announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5. Because why call the military? Why kill yourself? Just get a bunch of martial artists to take you out.
Yeah.
Dumb plot. But hey, that's the setup for Tekken 5.
Oh,
Once
good
again,
evening,
the
sir.
prize is
Where
the
to?
Zaibatsu itself, which intrigues Jin
Can't you
Kazama,
tell
who is now
where?
suffering nightmares that trigger his devil gene. His alter ego is too dangerous, and Jin can't hold it off forever. He enters the tournament to find a solution. We got another batch of newbies to talk about, one of which you've already seen. Raven. There's not much to say about him. He's a special operatives agent working for a shadowy organization. He's entered the tournament to collect information. Nondescript, non-specific information.
Okay.
He is but one of many ravens that all serve under one leader, the aptly
Also bad
named
gameplay?
Master
Hell
Raven.
yeah.
All you need to know about Raven is that he's so cool he can stand on top of a fighter jet while it's flying at full speed. Hell, he
That's
can
pretty
stand
cool.
underneath one. Those are some magnetic boots, man. Next up is Feng Wei, a Chinese Kempo fighter who wants to be the strongest man in the world. After getting into fights outside of his training, he gets scolded by his master. Naturally, Feng took that as an insult and murdered the man. He
Obviously,
then spends his
that's what
time
you do in
seeking out a
Tekken.
scroll known as the Secrets of Godfist, something he believes will give him
This is the plot of Kung Fu Panda 1. That's Tai Lung right there.
ultimate power. He attacks every dojo he comes across looking for the thing until it becomes clear
The Dragon Warrior.
that it's in the clutches of the Mishima Zaibatsu. He enters the tournament to retrieve it. But his dojo attacks spur another competitor, and her name is Asuka Kazama.
This is who my friend Mitch Z played. He was an Asuka fanboy. Big fan of Asuka.
Repeat that. Asuka Kazama. This girl is a distant relative of Jun Kazama and the cousin of Jin Kazama.
Okay.
I have no idea how big the Kazama family is, but it's clearly far from gone. After Feng Wei attacks her family's dojo, the girl rushes into the tournament to get revenge. She apparently doesn't know that Jin is related to her, so I guess Jun didn't talk with the rest of her family. Next up is Lily de Rochefort, the daughter of a wealthy oil tycoon. One day she got abducted by criminals who wanted to ransom her for money. But Lily didn't go without a fight, and she managed to beat the crap out of her captor. The thrill of combat was intoxicating, so from that point onwards, she spent her time learning martial arts in secret so as not to upset her troubled father.
Yeah.
One day she gets into a fight and defeats Forrest Law, and that's when he hands her the invitation to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5. She figures what could be better for her daddy than to obtain the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Obviously.
You remember Roger the boxing kangaroo? Well, it turns out that he found a wife and the two had a baby, Roger Jr. And everything was going hunky-dory until strangers came and kidnapped the guy. So Roger
Do you guys remember Roger from King of Fighters 2? Or, not King of Fighters, from Tekken 2. Anyways, he got kidnapped.
Jr., inside the pouch of his mother, enters the tournament
This is cheating. This is two
to
fighters.
save his father. But let's be
So
honest,
funny.
his mom is doing all the legwork. I guess she
Great pun.
was genetically altered by Dr. Boskanovich too. And also, isn't it kind of dangerous to keep your child on your person when you get into fist fights with some of the deadliest warriors known to man? Your child could get fucking killed out there. Bad kangaroo. Bad. Xiao Yu managed to find out the Mishima history after Iron Fist 4, and she feels really sad that Heihachi died. If only he hadn't thrown his son into a ravine. And then all of a sudden, she meets a scientist who knows how to build a time machine. What? Who is this guy? How did Xiao Yu find him? Where the fuck do you learn to build something like that?
YouTube?
Don't worry, Tekken doesn't get so crazy that characters travel back in time. At least, not yet. King may have been satisfied with defeating Marduk, but the guy was undefeated and he doesn't take his loss very well. The dude literally steals the late Armor King's Jaguar mask and demands a rematch. King can't let this disrespect stand.
That's cool as fuck. Marduk's like the villainous villain of all time. That's sick.
And so he accepts the challenge.
Also, King looks dope as hell here.
Remember how Dr. Boskanovich was going to save Brian Fury? Well, he does. He gives the guy a perpetual generator, and now he can live a long life again. Brian
Yippee.
thanks the doctor by going apeshit and destroying the Manji clan's laboratory. He kills tons of people in the process, forcing Yoshimitsu to chase him into the tournament for retribution.
Yoshimitsu's armor keeps changing like crazy.
After Lei Wulan disbanded the syndicate, Nina found herself out of a job. Lost, she decides to confide in the woman who claims to be her sister. She calls up Anna for a meeting, but as soon as she sees her again, the memories come flooding back. Nina remembers everything, including how the Zaibatsu defeated her. Instantly, Nina starts trying to kill Anna, and the two battle for literal days. That's a lot of stamina. Eventually, the two get exhausted and agree to settle things at the tournament.
That bitch.
After Christy's grandfather...
This editor is fucking cracking me up,
gets
man.
out from prison, she and Eddie find that he's incredibly sick. It's after talking to a doctor that it's discovered he's terminally ill. Lacking the money needed to save his life, the only hope these two have is to win the tournament. After Kazuya was defeated during Iron Fist 2, Ganryu retired from sumo wrestling. But he still liked to keep track of Zaibatsu events, and that's how he comes across Julia Chang. Reminder, this guy was madly in love with Michelle, and now he's become infatuated with her daughter at the ripe old age of 55.
A very cool thing to do, obviously.
Since Julia's still seeking Jeet Corporation's reforestation data, Ganryu figures retrieving it himself would be the key to winning her heart. But he's not the oldest competitor returning, because Jinpachi sent his best friend Wang Jinrei a letter inviting him to compete as well. And let's see, at this point in the story, Wang would be 105 years old?
Damn right.
The dude was 82 back in Tekken 1? His bones must be as stable as graham crackers at this point. But hey, maybe he'll surprise me. And on that note, let's talk about the tournament. So first up, Jin Kazama defeats Wang Jinrei. Okay, never mind. This is arguably disappointing because the thing we know most about Wang's backstory is that he was best friends with Jinpachi Mishima. The two have an incredibly close bond. If anyone deserved to take him down, it was Jinrei. But according to Tekken 6, he didn't even get to see the guy. Canon can often be anticlimactic. King and Marduk battle for the second time in a row, and once again, King emerges victorious. Although this outcome changes things forever. Like an echo of the past, Marduk realizes that King is the real deal, and rather than hold a grudge, he chooses to be his ally. King and Marduk become best friends and also a formidable tag team. All that bad blood gone forever. Nina faces off with Anna and gains the victory.
That didn't satisfy me at all. I refuse to kill you.
You bitch!
Paul Phoenix enters the tournament with new determination after losing to Kuma. And of course, because someone fucking hates Paul, he finds himself battling Kuma yet again. This time, Paul squeaks out a victory, but he is so exhausted from the encounter that he bows out of the tournament. Yoshimitsu clashes with Brian Fury and scores the win. Afterwards, the cyborg makes his escape, living to fight another day. Asuka meets with Lily for the first time and defeats her. But this would be the worst mistake of her life because she's made a lifetime rival for doing so. Lily forever obsessed with wanting to one-up the young Kazama. And that's all I got to say about Asuka because the girl never ends up crossing paths with Feng Wei, the guy she wanted to fight. She also never interacts with her cousin Jin, thus wasting a lot of potential the character could have had. Since
Obviously.
Feng doesn't win the
We had to focus on Paul fighting a bear for the 5th time. Duh.
tournament, eventually he just breaks into the Mishima Zaibatsu's vault and steals the scroll he was looking for. And instead of gaining ultimate power, he instead finds words of wisdom. He who destroys all other fighting styles and makes them his own shall become a warrior superior to all men. Well, God
Did you read the last line?
makes them his own.
The Dragon God? It's literally Kung Fu Panda.
Shall become a warrior superior to all men. Well, golly, thanks for that enlightenment. That's the equivalent of saying, if you want to master something, you should practice at it until you get good. Riveting. Feng takes this advice, and his story hasn't budged since. Jin faces off with his rival Warang, who was recently reunited with his master Beck after he finally woke up from his coma. And taking the new advice that Beck put onto him, Warang gives it his all in the fight, and he actually wins! Yes, he defeats the badass hero of the last 2 games, putting him down and knocking him out. Holy
Nice.
shit! This is what I like to see. The Mishimas aren't so invincible. But while he lies unconscious, something else wakes up. Devil Jin. The devil form rises up, catching Warang off guard, and just brutalizes the guy. Fucks him up good, to the point that he has to be sent to the hospital in critical condition. The judges have no reason to deny it, so Jin ultimately wins the fight and thus advances to the finals. Devil Jin is an actual character in the games. He is a separate fighter from Jin who uses the Mishima combat style that was in Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag. Because a lot of people didn't like that Jin fought so differently in Tekken 4. Also, it fills the quota that every fighting game ever has to meet, where the hero of the story has some dark alter ego that is actually playable. Revenant Liu Kang, Evil Ryu. It's just a thing, I don't know what to tell ya. Ganryu doesn't win the tournament, but he does sneak into the Mishima Zaibatsu labs and actually finds Julia's reforestation data. He meets with her to deliver the goods.
We're gonna go back to the flower on his chest.
He finds Julia's reforestation data. He meets with her.
What is going on?
To deliver the goods. Dude, you just had to put the data disk on your sweaty, smelly dick, didn't you? Good God.
I think it...
Thank you enough. With this, I'll be able to bring back the forest.
No, それはそれとして、実はでごわすな。好きになってしまったでごわす。
Oh, Ganryu. He did a great thing for the wrong reason. Don't think she'll be interested anytime soon. However, this is a great day for Julia because getting that research back allows her to actually grow a little seedling, thus making it possible to reforest her land. The thing she's always wanted, now back on track.
She remembered...
In another laboratory, abandoned by Dr. Boss...
I forgot there were boxing kangaroos in this game. And it's not a singular game that they exist.
Roger Jr. goes looking for any kind of trace of his dad. And well...
Not a joke character. For sure.
Yeah, Roger is a terrible father and husband. He wasn't abducted at all. Just enjoying a life of luxury and cheating on his wife. He's been smooching all kinds of lady kangaroos while his
That's fucking wild!
Family was struggling financially. What a dick! What I find amusing about all this is that Roger Jr. ends up running into Alex, Roger's dinosaur rival. After kicking his ass in a very comical way, he brings the guy into his home where Alex hits it off with Roger's wife. The dinosaur is now a beloved father figure within the kangaroo family. All while Roger realizes what a terrible mistake he's made. Aww. The fact that this goofy shit is canon warms my cold, dead heart. What else happens? Well, Kazuya does participate in the tournament, but he doesn't seem to stick around for long. Eventually, he runs into one of his old bodyguards, the returning Bruce Irvin, who's alive and well. And then the two just leave. Kazuya may have lost to Jin, but they never say that's what's happened. And even in Jin's story mode, there's never a mandatory battle between the two. The only thing Tekken 6 and 7 likes to say is that Kazuya eventually gets revenge on the corporate bigwigs. There is more to it than that, but first, I gotta cover the finale.
Yeah,
Jin Kazama is once again unstoppable, and he comes face to face with the great-grandfather he's never met before.
Wait.
And the old man isn't just a master martial artist, he's also grown a goddamn demon mouth on his stomach that shoots unblockable fireballs. In the middle of a whirlwind tornado, Jin battles his great-grand...
Oh, that's right. In all of Tekken 5, Heihachi doesn't exist. I forgot. Heihachi does not come back until
Granddad with everything he's got.
I was like,
and
where's
once
Heihachi
again,
doing all this?
The young Kazama ekes out a victory, destroying Jinpachi for good.
These graphics look very good for what I expected from Tekken.
But this presents an interesting ending to Tekken 5. Instead of running off as Devil Jin, he stays put and inherits the Mishima Zaibatsu.
Wait.
All those Yakuza, the Tekken Force, the entire conglomerate.
It's all Jins?
It all belongs to the most noble and heroic member of the Mishima family.
Nice.
And it makes you wonder, now that Jin has all of this power, what's he gonna do with it?
Tekken 6!
So the story begins with Jin Kazama starting World War III.
Not where I expected that to go.
Oh yes, I'm serious. The first thing that Jin does when he gains control is start claiming oil refineries, space stations, anything that can give the Zaibatsu power. He expands the military and sends the Tekken Force to every corner of the planet just to tear shit up and conquer everything. And there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. He just attacks civilians because he can. The Mishima Zaibatsu is so strong and has so much power that they somehow managed to conquer the United Nations. I'm no geopolitical expert, but that sounds fucking impossible. The governments of the world all just sit there, impotent to combat this threat. But
No, that
one
makes sense
giant
to me.
organization is leading the charge, forming the biggest resistance to the Zaibatsu's evil. And that organization is G Corporation. See, after killing all of the executives that betrayed him, Kazuya became the new CEO of the company. And I thought it was just a small...
I wonder what the paperwork looks like for that. Of you killing all the CEOs in order to become the CEO. Is that legal?
biotech firm, but apparently it's expanded quite a bit. Now G Corp has its own private military with thousands of soldiers and tanks. It's the face of multimedia entertainment, sponsoring such J-pop idols as Lucky Chloe, who of course is a martial artist and playable character. The G Corporation is using its mad science to create super soldiers in the form of roided out Hulk men who scream like fucking monsters. And even if they didn't have those, they still have the Jack units because Jane is developing them for the company. And why not? They're the only ones taking the fight to that evil dictator, Jin Kazama. Seriously, as far as the public is concerned, Kazuya is nothing but a saint, a hero who's trying to save the world.
Yeah.
If they only knew. Kazuya's offered a substantial bounty to anyone who can bring him Jin Kazama's head. And as a response to this, the Zaibatsu leader decides to announce the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6. Which I'm not really sure if now's the time for martial artists to be competing in tests of strength.
No, World War III.
But I gotta take a second to acknowledge how the narrative changed from this point onwards. It's the first high-definition Tekken game, the first one to have online play. And it's also the first one to have a proper story mode. Previously, these games have only been experienced one character at a time, fighting 8 or 9 matches and taking any cutscene you can get. But Tekken 6 has a full-blown scenario campaign that focuses on 2 new characters, Lars Alexanderson and Alyssa Boskanovich. The story follows them the entire way through as you battle in over 38 stages, each filled with dozens of goons and special bosses. It's completely canon,
crazy.
Its events referenced in Tekken 7. Which is fine, but the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6 goes completely ignored. The characters don't talk like they're preparing for it, they don't talk like it just happened. Lars and Alyssa never enter any competition, they just head into skirmishes against the Zaibatsu and G Corp. The side characters only seeming to be there so that you have a boss to fight. And when we get to Tekken 7, instead of having prologues that advance each fighter's story, the player is only briefed on one particular fight that the character finds themselves in. Unless you're a DLC character, in which case you don't even get that. Tekken 6 and 7 are far more interested in what's going on with the war and the Mishimas. I don't have any tournament details anymore because there aren't any. So yeah.
Weird.
Lars Alexanderson used to be the head of the Tekken Force. Apparently the dude's always been there behind the scenes, we just never got acquainted with him. But when Jin Kazama starts using the Zaibatsu to destroy the world, Lars takes a step back and asks himself, wait a minute, are we the baddies? And so he breaks off, managing to take over 50% of the Tekken force with him. God damn! These turncoat Tekkens would wear new flags and call themselves Yggdrasil. It's at this point that Eddie Gordo approaches Jin for help regarding his capoeira master. See, he didn't win the last tournament, which means he still doesn't have the money to pay for his medical bills. Jin agrees to help, but only if Eddie fills the vacant spot left behind by Lars. And so Eddie Gordo becomes the leader of the Tekken force, participating in a war he wanted nothing to do with. He shares an advisory role with Nina Williams, who acts as Jin Kazama's second-in-command. In fact, Nina joining the Zaibatsu encourages her sister Anna to join G Corporation along with Bruce Irvin. Quite the stables we got here.
Yeah.
Anyway, the plot really kicks off when Yggdrasil goes on a mission to take over one of the Zaibatsu's laboratories. Lars leads his squad inside, kicking all kinds of ass, when eventually they come across a control room with some kind of cryo chamber.
資料にあったボスコノビッチの娘に似ているが。
博士の娘はすでに死
But isn't she supposed to be deceased?
Yeah, do you remember that plot point from Tekken 3?
Yeah.
Of course you don't. During this invasion...
No, it was when Jax blew up in the bad ending. I remember. You made a point of it.
Yggdrasil gets surprised when G Corporation also shows up, flooding the place with Jack robots. There's a scuffle and an explosion which knocks Lars out and conveniently gives him amnesia. It's at this point that he accidentally opens the cryo chamber, unleashing Alyssa Boskanovich, who is equipped with jet boosters, chainsaw arms, and also has the ability to take off her own head and use it as an explosive.
And it
she
just
has
comes
an
back?
infinite supply of heads thanks to nanomachines. This character is so anime and over the top that even for some Tekken fans, it was too much. Oh, I can handle the Devil Gene. I can handle bears who know Kung Fu. But kawaii anime robot girls who tear shit up with chainsaws? You've gone too far, Tekken. I'm more shocked about what kind of guy Dr. Boskanovich is. The old man lost his daughter to disease and then completely recreated her as a fighting robot. That's really weird, man. Also strange,
it is really weird.
Dr. Boskanovich never appears in either Tekken 6 or Tekken 7. His robo-daughter plays such a significant role in the story, and he just goes bye-bye. Where is he? I don't think he's dead. He shows up for the tag games, trying to analyze male pattern baldness on the Mishimas. No, really. Which apparently is negated by the Devil Gene. No,
That's
really.
so funny.
But he himself is just
That's...
gone. Now, the way that stories are told in Tekken is just so bizarre sometimes.
What the fuck is...
Anyway,
what the
Lars
fuck
and
is
Alyssa
that thing?
escape the base, and since they both don't know what's going on, they decide to go on a journey for answers. One which has them fighting street thugs, the Tekken Force, robots, bear cubs, kangaroos, a marching parade, sumo wrestlers, and even goddamn demons. There's so little narrative structure to the campaign that I have no idea why they're in the places that they are. What good is finding Armor King gonna do? Oh yeah, Armor King's alive. Kind of. See, after King and Marduk made up and became friends, someone ambushed the Valetudo fighter in the locker room. And he looks exactly like Armor King. But later, King is reminiscing about his old master when he makes a shocking discovery.
Dude. Dude. The guy in the Jaguar mask had an evil brother that's also wearing a Jaguar mask.
I'm sorry, but that Jaguar mask makes everything funny. Turns out this new Armor King is the brother of the old one. Why the hell did he hide that? Armor King didn't think it was worth mentioning that he was in a tag team with his brother? Whatever. Armor King 2 wants revenge on Marduk, and King is caught in the middle. Anyway, eventually Lars ends up running into Togu, one of his comrades in Yggdrasil. Hearing that the guy has amnesia, he tells him that beforehand he was looking forward to meeting Heihachi Mishima, and perhaps seeking him out will jog his memory. Worth mentioning that Lars is a pretty chill guy. He values his squad, he knows how to joke around, the guy isn't an edgelord nor a colossal douchebag. Just keep that in mind as we get to the twist. Lars and Alyssa do indeed seek out Heihachi, who this whole entire time has been chilling in his estate. After a failed assassination attempt by the Tekken Force, he's just been plotting and scheming over how to get the Zaibatsu back.
Makes sense.
Upon seeing Heihachi, something triggers in Lars's head. His memory comes back completely.
Is Lars going to end up being Lee or Violet?
Reminding him of his true heritage.
この血を引く以上、お前のように衰えていくことは避けられないということか。何？お前が北欧で指揮した作戦を覚えているか？まさかお前が？
Yes, Lars is actually a Mishima, a bastard child from one of Heihachi's youthful indiscretions.
Ah. Never mind then, I guess.
Because you can't have the hero of the story be anything but. With his memory returned, Lars aims to kill the man who abandoned his mother.
With a gun?!
Once again, unkillable.
Holy
Lars
shit, you think that
basically
pea
goes,
shooter can
"All
hurt
right,
me?"
fuck it, I got more important things to do. His new goal for the game is to take down Jin Kazama and end the war. This involves breaking into the Zaibatsu headquarters, taking down the Tekken Force, Eddie Gordo, Nina
Achievement
Williams,
unlocked.
even a giant demon robot named Nancy. Yes, Nancy. And of all the times I've gone through Tekken 6's arcade mode, I have never beaten this damn thing. It kicks you to the next match as soon as you lose, so it takes forever just to retry. Screw you, Nancy. But eventually Lars ends up riding the elevator into Jin's throne room, where the guy has commissioned a comically evil statue of his devil gauntlet clutching the world. Just a tad
As
on
you
the
do.
nose.
This is a guy that is spreading economy and wealth. So he contracted somebody to make that devil gauntlet. Look, that's somebody's heart. Like, there were designers, there were contractors. This is almost as good as a ballroom, some would say. Almost.
His devil gauntlet clutching the world. Just a tad on the nose. Before Lars can take this guy out, though, Jin activates his secret weapon.
アリサ、限定モード解除。アリサ、どうした？
Finding her in a Mishima laboratory was no coincidence. Dr. Boskanovich created her to serve as Jin's bodyguard.
Whoa.
And because he's the head honcho, she has to obey anything he commands.
Whoa.
No,
a
Alyssa,
twist.
please. This isn't you. Think of all the good times we had. Anyway,
Footage
Jin makes
not
his
bad.
escape and heads to Egypt, to a special ruin that was hidden away by magic until the Zaibatsu started destroying the world.
Obviously.
This place houses a very nasty creature known as Azazel, the Rectifier. And apparently it's waking up, creating volcanoes and shit in the Middle East. Lars is joined by Raven and proceeds deep inside, where he encounters the G Corporation as well. He and Kazuya have a scuffle.
まさかと思ったが、貴様、三島の血を。
Oh yeah, apparently all the electricity that flies off of Heihachi and Kazuya, that's a Mishima bloodline thing. I guess they descended from the thunder god Raiden. Lars reaches the center of the ruins and comes face to face with Azazel, a giant Anubis monster and by far the cheapest fucking boss in any Tekken game ever. I swear, even on easy mode, this asshole is ridiculously cheap. I hate him with the fury of 1,000 suns. Luckily, in Scenario Campaign, you have buffed stats, and you can sneak behind him while he's distracted by Raven. Double teaming this prick is so damn satisfying. Lars defeats the creature, but he still has one target left, Jin Kazama. But not before being forced to battle his former friend.
Oh no, the robot girl died. Fucking clankers, am I right?
やはりその程度か。
I hate AI.
だと。所詮ガラクタでしかなかったということだ。
Oh, you motherfucker. The
Why did Jin turn bad? I'm still lost.
Final battle. Lars, Jin, and a squadron of Tekken Force goons who love to snipe me from far away. Yay. But eventually Lars pulls off the victory. And it's now, at the end, where we finally get an explanation as to why Jin did all this. So remember the nightmares he was having in Tekken 5?
That's why I just asked.
He was being communicated to by Azazel the Rectifier, and the Beast tells Jin that the Devil Gene is his creation, that Azazel is the source. And when human misery gets so strong all over the world, it's going to return and destroy everyone. Only someone with the Devil Gene can stop him. But what if Azazel returns long after Jin and Kazuya are dead? Who will save the world then? So using the power of the Zaibatsu, Jin single-handedly attacks everything and everyone just so Azazel would wake up earlier. And sure enough, Lars did not actually defeat the Beast. It comes out of the temple to bring about Armageddon.
Oh, so he's the good guy by making a war happen. Whoa, that's sick. How cool. Dude, I know somebody in the White House right now who would love the Tekken 6 lore.
But Jin rushes toward...
He'd be like, that's me. I started the war because I'm the good guy.
It punches a hole through its chest and falls with it into a ravine. The creature killed for good.
It's not for me to judge if he was right or wrong. Maybe you're such a saint. You think you can.
Oh, fuck off, lady. Yes, Jin technically saved the world, but he killed so many innocent people to get us there. The world will never be the same. I remember a lot of people were put off by the decision to turn Jin heel, and it's completely changed the character. Now he's an edgy sad boy who just wants to die, to get his comeuppance for all the evil that he's done. Tekken and its morality, they just didn't want everything to be so cut and dry. Lars leaves Alyssa with Li Chaolan to be restored to normal, and Raven ends up finding Jin after everything's all said and done. And with that, we only have one more game to talk about.
I forgot this was Tekken 6, not even Tekken 7. Alright. Tekken 7.
So as of August 2022, this is the newest game in the series. It has a 2-hour-long story mode that aims to explain a pressing question that many fans have had for years. Who was Heihachi's wife? Who was Kazuya's mother? Believe it or not, the identity of this character was hinted at ages ago in Tekken 2, because in the dojo stage, you can find an engraved marking pairing up the names of Heihachi and Kazumi. This is something that's actually existed since 1996. But Tekken is a very secretive and mysterious franchise, so it was left alone until now. Not much has changed since the end of Tekken 6. Azazel may be dead, but the war between the Mishima Zaibatsu and G Corporation is still raging strong. With Jin missing in the Middle East, the Zaibatsu is running aimless. This forces Heihachi to return from the shadows, storming in to take his company back. And Nina sends the entire Tekken force after the guy, dudes armed with machine guns and grenades and rocket launchers, and Heihachi still swats all of them away like the flies they are. Are you starting to understand why this man is one of my favorite video game characters ever? Heihachi beats Nina's ass, declaring the company his once again. And Nina, with nothing better to do, decides to serve under him. With the Zaibatsu back in his control, Heihachi announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7. The purpose of this competition is to draw out Kazuya and expose him for who he really is. You see, the King of Iron Fist Tournament 2 wasn't televised, so no one but Heihachi really saw his devil form. And the only time he ever transformed again is when he fled Hanmaru back in Tekken 5. No one knows what this guy is capable of, only that he's the hero who fought Jin Kazama. This tournament will be the perfect venue to show everyone that he is in fact the devil. And that's why the Zaibatsu can't possibly stop fighting this war, because they're the good guys, actually.
Obviously.
It's quite the plan indeed. But while meditating inside of his dojo, Heihachi is visited by a special guest. Whoa, 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 what the hell?
I've played Tekken 7. Wait, pause. I've played Tekken 7. I played that guy. This is the Tekken character that I know.
That's Akuma. Akuma, if you're unfamiliar, is from Capcom's Street Fighter franchise. Ever since Super Street Fighter 2, this guy has been a special boss fight one of the deadliest villains in the lore. He's a man who sacrificed his humanity to gain the ultimate power, the Satsui no Hado. His motivation is to find a truly worthy opponent, constantly egging Ryu, the series hero, into joining the dark side. That's all well and good, but what the hell's he doing here? I'm no stranger to the concept of guest characters, but they're not
Dude, the EX bar at the bottom?
typically driving the plot. Like when you're playing Mortal Kombat 11, it's not like RoboCop shows up out of nowhere to save the day. But Akuma is integral, because he is here to deliver vengeance on behalf of Kazumi Mishima.
カズミ殿の願いに従い、うぬと三島和也に死をもたらす者。
平八さんを殺してください。そして。
Wait. Akuma's just like part of the lore? Like the actual lore? He's not just a DLC character? Wait. He's part of the story mode? That's so sick.
バカバカしい。その話が本当なら、なぜ今頃になって現れ。
Rights issues are a bitch. We had to talk to Capcom, obviously.
What? For context, Kazumi died on the exact same day that Kazuya was thrown off the cliff. That was like 40 years ago. Akuma was given a task to prevent two men from destroying the world, and he waited until after a fucking world war to start killing them.
Damn
Nothing
right.
about Tekken makes any goddamn sense.
No,
so
it does.
The two battle each other, and
No,
because Capcom has really
Akuma
tight
hours for
protection
sure.
on their character, Akuma, of course, defeats Heihachi. But to be fair, Tekken's very protective too, because right after delivering the Raging Demon, Akuma buries Heihachi's body, plants him in the ground, leaving to go after Kazuya next. But Heihachi isn't dead.
Rise from your grave.
This is getting comical now. The Raging
Remember
Demon
Street Fighter
is supposed
Tekken?
to be
There's supposed to be a
pretty
game called
strong.
Tekken and Street
It is
Fighter, but it got
canon in the
scrapped?
Street Fighter games that M. Bison was killed by this very move, his soul needing to transfer to another body that he had prepared. Oh yeah, Street Fighter's pretty weird too, but still, Heihachi survived all of that. Unkillable. But for some reason, Heihachi wants the world to think he's dead, so the Zaibatsu does just that. They cancel the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7. But why? Instead, the new plan is to wait for Kazuya and Akuma to battle, and when they do, Kaz will have no choice but to turn devil form in order to survive. And the Zaibatsu will be there with drones to take pictures, exposing him to the world. And that's basically what happens. But
Dude,
also, Heihachi decides to kill them both by utilizing Dr. Abel's space.
It's crazy that the tournament didn't because they exist in the same world now because it's true canon. Like, there's no way Blanca doesn't show up and be like, I'll play in the tournament, I guess.
Space cannon. You remember, the thing that took out Jack 2 is still up there, and it's in the possession of Heihachi.
Holy fuck.
He fires the thing off, destroying the G Corporation's Millennium Tower. Why did no one think to do that before? And of course, Kazuya is still alive.
Of course.
The world turns on him. Heihachi sends the devil pictures to the media, and everyone is so shocked and horrified to learn that the world's savior
Ben
is
Shapiro
actually
looking ass.
Satan. So Kazuya gets revenge by firing his big fuck-off devil laser into outer space, destroying Dr. Abel's space cannon. And this causes satellite debris to crash into a major city, which turns the public back against the Zaibatsu. I'm not kidding. Apparently the public is under the impression that the Zaibatsu did it on purpose. Why would they do that?
The atrociousness of the fighting was inconceivable to the average person.
Agreed.
They soon forgot about Kazuya transforming into a devil.
Because apparently that's something you forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, one thing Tekken 7 does different from the other games is tell its story through the eyes of a journalist. One who's covering the Mishima family, looking for information on how this whole war started. He approaches Heihachi asking for an interview, and surprisingly, he accepts. See, this is Heihachi's last stand. With the reputation of the Mishima Zaibatsu all but ruined, he challenges his son to one last fight. Winner take all, there can be only one. So in case he doesn't come back, Heihachi decides to get his story out there, revealing the truth of his wife's death.
Well, that's
He
cool.
was married to Kazumi Hachicho, a fellow martial artist that Heihachi loved very much. That is until she started to show symptoms of a split personality. And this alter ego reveals that she married into the Mishima family purely to kill Heihachi before he eventually becomes a threat to the world. The Hachicho family has been forever cursed with the devil gene, exacting vengeance on whomever they please. They have a fierce fight, but again, Heihachi is just too damn powerful.
That's the coolest devil character there is so far.
もはや貴様は霞ではない。ならば
Just brutal. Snaps his wife's neck despite how devastated it leaves him. And so we have a bit of a retcon here. Heihachi did not throw his son off the cliff to see if he was worthy of the Mishima name. He did it because he wanted to see if his son had the devil gene. Which is a little confusing. If he does survive, then why would you raise him knowing full well there's a split personality just waiting to kill you? But if he dies, well, good one, dude. You just murdered your innocent son for no reason. Oh, the twisted morality of Tekken, trying to make us sympathize with the man who laughs maniacally and bombs buildings with laser cannons. Kazumi knew he was a monster, so I'm not sure she's actually a villain. But hey, Kazuya and Heihachi meet inside a volcano for their final showdown. And my recap can't possibly do it justice. It's got multiple phases, flashbacks to the past 20 years of Tekken games, Kaz fights in his devil form, Heihachi turns Super Saiyan. These guys just beat the living shit out of each other, Kaz even nuking his old man with lasers, that he somehow survives.
Baka.
Heihachi strikes Kazuya so hard that the guy reverts back to his human form. Keep in mind that Kaz still hasn't beaten his father since Tekken 1. He lost in Tekken 2, he lost in Tekken 4, his dad will not go down! He still feels like the helpless 5-year-old boy. This is his last chance. It's now or never.
Cool flashback. With the tiger on the back. It's over?
And he does it. Kazuya defeats Heihachi Mishima. And as these Tekken games tend to go, it ends on a cliff peering over the volcanic landscape.
For the second time.
戦いとは最後にどちらが立っているかそれだけだ。
Cold line.
After all of that, Heihachi Mishima is finally dead.
Well, now hold on. There's a game that I have to play soon to go through Tekken 8. That might not be true.
Damn. So where does this leave the story of Tekken? Well, one thing I glossed over is that Lars ends up finding Jin in the Middle East and brings him to Lee Chaolan for protection. He spends the entire game unconscious until the very end.
世界にこの戦乱を引き起こしたのが貴様であるならこれを収めるのもまた貴様の宿命デビルで力を持つ者としてカズヤは俺が殺す
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the insane lore of Tekken.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So I'm not in the habit of doing series recap videos. My next project sure as hell won't be 2 hours long, nor will I avoid talking about the gameplay. But I can't talk strategy with Tekken because I have no grounds to do so. I'm no expert. Hell, my footage is probably the most basic combat you've ever seen. But that's kind of what I've been trying to say. I'm not good at playing it, but I've still gotten 20 years of entertainment value. The incredible music, the badass character designs, the ridiculousness that—
Yeah, you sold me, man. This was fun. Holy cow. This was way different than I thought it was going to be. I don't necessarily know what I like expected going in to the Tekken Lore stream, but it certainly wasn't this. It certainly wasn't this. Previews start next Monday with mine. I've got some plans for it. I've read all my cards. They're pretty cool. And I don't want to give you any spoilers, so I won't. I won't. I will leave you. I will leave you with that. Do I have Roger? I will tell you for sure that I don't have Roger. I don't have Roger. I don't have Roger. But yeah, with that, I think that's gonna be the stream, guys. I got some office work to do, and I gotta write a script for this preview. That is the plan. But we'll catch you guys all next time. I don't know if I'm gonna be live tomorrow, but I might be. If I am live tomorrow, it'll be like later tomorrow, and I might actually just play Tekken 8. We'll see what happens. With that.